Meri had always known the silence was not empty. Whispers filled it, of things done behind closed doors, of ties severed with a smile and courtesy lies. But this time, it was not another cold shoulder or passive-aggressive dinner. This was theft, and the signature on the documents confirmed it. Not any signature. Kody's. She sat in her SUV just outside the Flagstaff office, where she'd sweated for years and sacrificed blood to bring the family's collective online boutique to life. A business that started with her, before Robyn even knew how to log on to the system. And now, ownership transferred. Not half, completely, to Robyn. Her stomach churned. She hadn't even been warned. No courtesy visit, no email, no forewarning. Just a highlighted notice on her banking app that the business money was transferred into a different account held by someone else. And the paperwork? Signed off by Kody. Date stamped 2 months prior. Meri blinked through the haze gathering in her eyes. She could handle heartbreak. She could endure isolation. But this was an erasure. Not only of her name, but of her value. He told me he'd never betray me as a businessman, she said in a voice as dry as dust. Guess that vow was like all the others. How do you fight back when the people destroying you are the same ones who vowed to defend you? She captured a screenshot of the transfer document, then the ownership papers. Her hands chilled but firm. Her next phone call wasn't to Kody. It was to her attorney. I want to know if I can undo a fraudulent business transfer, even if it has my ex-husband's name on it. The response was swift. Only if you can demonstrate that you were duped, or if the signature was not legally binding. Meri shut her eyes. That meant she needed to determine one thing. Did Kody know what he signed, or did Robyn forge it behind his back too? And more importantly, did it even matter anymore? She didn't cry. Not yet. Not until she drove into her own driveway and opened the folder Leon had handed her months before, back when she wasn't ready to hear the truth. Inside, printouts, emails, a voice memo Leon had secretly recorded. Robyn's voice, Meri's holding onto that business, like it still means something. But Kody said he'd back me if we made it official. She'll never see it coming. There it was. Intent. Betrayal. Premeditated. Meri hit play once more. Slower now, louder. She heard Kody's laugh in the distance. The same laugh he employed when brushing off Christine. When he pushed Janelle aside. When he gaslit Meri for the past 10 years. This wasn't merely a betrayal. It was planning. And she was the target. But what they didn't know was that this time she was ready. Before she was able to hit play once more, her phone glowed with a call. Incoming call. Gwen Brown. Meri hesitated. Gwen didn't call her directly that often. Meri, I have to show you something. It concerns the company account. You won't believe this, and that's where it starts. The quietest wife just discovered her loudest gun, the truth. If you're ready for the actual fight, subscribe now to Sister Wives Daily Scoop. It's not a scandal. It's a showdown. The following morning, Meri stood before her old boutique, the front sign still reading the name she created in her living room all those years earlier. But she was not here to reminisce. She was here with evidence. In her hands, an email thread revealing Robyn's backdoor negotiations with the bank, a voice memo from Leon, unmistakably recording Robyn's plan, and a screenshot taken by Gwen, a clandestine account Robyn had used to funnel profits over the past 6 months. Meri wasn't perplexed anymore. She was ready. Inside, Robyn sat at the checkout counter like it was hers, because now, it was. Meri? Oh surprise, Robyn said, her voice a cloying veneer. You didn't call ahead. Meri didn't grin. She shut the door behind her and marched over to the counter. I didn't come to shop, Robyn. I came to reclaim what's mine. For once Meri didn't flinch. She didn't ask. She demanded. Robyn's smile faltered ever so slightly. If this is about the transfer, I went through all legal avenues. Kody signed off on it. You walked away. Remember? Meri dropped the voice memo onto the desk. Speaker up. She pressed play. Robyn's voice filled the room. She'll never see it coming. Then Kody's laughter. Robyn stretched to stop it. But Meri's hand beat her. Don't bother, Meri told her. I already sent a copy to my lawyer. Robyn's expression grimaced. That's not admissible. That was private. So was this business. Meri spit. So was every night I spent working it while you were out being a victim. The door opened again. Kody entered. Sunglasses. Baffled expression. Still dressed like the star of a show he believed he still owned. Meri? What's going on? He asked. Meri didn't even turn to him. Tell me, Kody. Did you have a clue what you were signing when Robyn gave you those documents? Kody blinked. Papers? I sign all kinds of, right? Meri interrupted. You signed away your children. You signed away your wives. And now you signed away my career. Kody was no longer a husband. Not even a man. He was a liability with a pen. Robyn rose now, voice increasing. Meri, you're blowing this way out of proportion. The business needed restructuring. No, Meri said sharply. You needed control. And Kody gave it to you like he always does. She pulled out the file folder. Voice memo. Gwen's screenshots. Leon's emails. You're not just guilty of betrayal. Robyn, you're guilty of fraud. Kody stepped forward. Whoa, fraud. Robyn wouldn't do that. Meri turned to him now, slow and deliberate. Defend her with the same lips that betrayed the rest of us. You're either blind to the fact, or too weak to acknowledge you knew. The air wasn't just thick, it was electric, as if truth had literally walked into the building. So what now? Robyn snarled. Going to sue me? Take it to court. I don't need a courtroom. Meri replied. I just need the truth. And the family already knows who built this, who stole it, and who stood by doing nothing. She walked to the door, folder in hand. Before leaving, she turned back one last time. You think you've won because the papers say your name, but I'll take my name, my story, and my truth over your stolen title any day. Meri didn't lose. She just learned the rules of their game and walked away to build her own. Outside, Gwen waited by the car. You okay? She asked. No, Meri said, but I'm better than I've been in years. Meri didn't go home. She didn't post, didn't message anyone, didn't answer calls, not even Leon's. She vanished, not in a dramatic manner, but in the manner that made people nervous. Because Meri had always been the one who kept the loose ends together. And now suddenly, nobody could sense her being there anymore. Sometimes the loudest sound is the absence of the person you took for granted. Robyn sat at the boutique a few days later, nursing her overpriced latte behind the counter. No customers, no calls, no orders. Even the site was quiet. Ever since Gwen posted a cryptic TikTok, stealing your mom's business doesn't make you an entrepreneur. The comments exploded. This about Robyn? Are they finally exposing what happened to Meri? Kody and Robyn can't silence everyone forever. The boutique's online reviews tanked overnight. Kody arrived that afternoon, shades off this time, and he looked exhausted. Think we should keep low-key, he growled. Too much commotion. Robyn slammed her drink on the table. This is your fault. You signed it. You said it was okay. You said it was a restructure. He snapped back at her. You didn't say you were chopping her out totally. They were turning on one another now. Meri didn't have to do a thing. The truth was eating them alive from the inside out. And then there was the package, sent to Robyn's boutique front door. No return address. One word on the envelope. Proof. Inside, an ancient video file from years ago. Meri, in the shop, speaking to a lawyer. In case anything ever happens, I want it on record that I was the sole founder. The site, the name, the license, the inventory, time-stamped, certified, witness. And in the folder was also a USB flash drive, containing a spreadsheet of all original vendor contact, receipt, and founding agreement, with only Meri's name on them. Robyn hadn't stolen a partnership, she'd stolen an origin, and Meri had receipts. That evening Robyn again confronted Kody. You knew she had backup documents? No. I figured it was all gone. I didn't think she'd hang on to that stuff. Robyn laughed with a bitter edge. Of course she did. Meri always keeps the receipt. We underestimated the wrong wife. At her Airbnb downtown, Meri sat at the window, observing the sunset over the desert. Leon sat opposite her, silently sorting papers. You really gonna do it? They asked. Meri didn't respond initially. Then she took up the document labeled injunction. Motion to freeze business account. No more warnings, she said softly. This time they feel the cold. She was no longer grieving what she lost. She was safeguarding what she constructed. Janelle called that evening. Meri, I viewed Gwen's status. Is it true? All of it. You want something? Just one thing. Meri replied. Be present when I sign the injunction. Not as a witness, but as the one who makes my hand move the pen. Janelle smiled over the phone. Count on it. The courthouse was not fancy. No cameras, no reporters, just a subdued hearing in a neutral space. But to Meri, It was holy ground, not because of the law, because this was the first time in years that she faced off with Kody and Robyn, and didn't back down. Janelle sat next to her, sleeves pushed up, papers in hand. Gwen and Leon in the back row, quiet but stalwart. Support that counted. In the other corner of the room, Kody lounged like a disinterested spectator. Robyn, in muted tones, wore an expression of having practiced in front of mirrors. We were only trying to protect the brand. Robyn testified under oath in her deposition. Meri had checked out. We couldn't get hold of her. But Meri's attorney had played the voice memo, then the spreadsheet, then the founding documents, dated and notarized. The truth wasn't just laid out. It was laminated, highlighted, and bulletproof. But what came next wasn't legal. It was personal. Meri leaned into the mic. Your Honor, I'm not just here to reclaim my business. I'm here to set the record straight for every woman who was told she was too emotional to own what she built. She turned slightly, locked eyes with Kody. He didn't just sign away my name. He signed away my history. The judge nodded. Miss Brown, do you have any final proof to submit before I decide on the injunction? Meri nodded. Leon rose and moved forward, handing the judge a printed sheet. The judge read it, hesitated, eyebrows raised. This is new. Counsel, please confirm. Meri's attorney rose. Yes, Your Honor. This is a personal agreement, found last night, between Mr. Brown and Miss Robyn Brown, signed in private 6 months ago. It outlines a vow to slowly purchase and consolidate all remaining family property, including the boutique and all intellectual property, in Robyn's name alone, with payment to be withheld from the other wives until further discussion. The room fell silent. Kody's eyes widened. He hadn't anticipated that coming up. You told me that was our secret, he growled at Robyn. But Robyn stood paralyzed. She knew the signature was genuine, and all the rest now knew the plan had been premeditated from the beginning. This wasn't a misunderstanding. It was a conspiracy. Between husband and favorite, the judge exhaled deep. This is no longer just a business dispute. It seems to involve calculated elimination of a founding partner, undisclosed agreements, and possible asset concealment. The gavel came down forcefully. Effective immediately, I issue the injunction. All business money is frozen. Ownership reverts to original founder pending investigation. Robyn covered her mouth. Kody jumped up quickly, voice trembling. You don't get it. We were repairing the brokenness. Meri stood as well, voice steady. No, Kody, you were hiding it. But the truth only stays buried so long. Outside of the courtroom, the air was lighter, brighter. Janelle put her arm around Meri's shoulder. I have no idea what you're going to do next, she said. Meri gazed up at the sun. I do, she smiled. I'm starting over, this time without his permission. When you spend your entire life asking for space, there's something strong about finally taking. Back in the hallway, Robyn sat by herself. For the first time, Kody had left her. Not because he was angry with her, out of shame, because he hadn't just lost a battle in court. He'd lost his disguise. And now even Robyn was left to wonder, who had she been shielding all these years? It had been 3 weeks since the courtroom gavel came down. Meri hadn't talked to Kody. She didn't have to. The injunction remained. The money was tied up. The ownership of the boutique had been legally re-established, solely in her name. But that wasn't the actual triumph. The actual triumph was silence. Not the silence of being ignored, but the silence of peace. She stood outside the new storefront of her boutique. Small, clean, hers. No cameras, no joint accounts, no signatures required. It's not glamorous, she whispered to herself, but it's truthful. Gwen beat her in, assisting with carrying in stock. Then Janelle, with a little cactus in a terracotta pot. For strength, Janelle smiled. You don't require it, but it's symbolic. Meri chuckled soft. You were the only one who ever came when it mattered. Later that afternoon, while the sun was setting behind the Arizona desert, someone pounded on the back door. She was expecting a delivery. It was Leon. They stood there for a moment, just staring at one another. The gravity of years, unspoken words, hurt left unexpressed, suspended between them like dust. I watched the clip of the hearing. Leon said quietly, you looked like you. Meri fought back tears. I'm sorry I didn't come to fight earlier. I thought I had to re-earn your love. Leon moved forward, held her close. You never needed to earn it. You simply needed to quit giving it to those who didn't deserve it. Sometimes healing doesn't occur with forgiveness. It occurs with forgiving yourself. They sat inside together, folding stock and chuckling at vendor war stories from long ago. Gwen jammed. Janelle lit a candle. No husband, no rules, no head of the household, breathing down their necks. Just women taking back space they were never supposed to lose. Across town, Kody scrolled through comments on a Sister Wives clip someone had reposted. They weren't talking about him anymore. They were talking about Meri, finally standing up for herself. Meri's story is what healing looks like. She didn't get bitter. She got better. He closed the app and stared at the wall. For the first time in his life, he was no longer the center of the story. Later that week, Meri's boutique reopened quietly. No launch party, no press, just a sign in the window. Her name is Meri, and she's just getting started. You can lose a husband, you can lose a business, but you are never required to lose yourself. If this story touched you, motivated you, or reminded you that it's never too late to start again, subscribe to Sister Wives Daily Scoop for more real, emotional, and truth-telling stories each week. Say it to Meri in the comment. What would you say to Meri if you were talking to her now? Keep the conversation going. Your voice counts.